Hi, hello. Thank you for coming to join me, everybody. I just want to do a quick flip through of a journal that I've made as part of a journal swap with my friend Pam from Pandora's Junk Journals. Pam and I agreed to do a swap earlier this year, and now's the time that we're doing it. And this is the journal that I'm sending to Pam. Now, we didn't give each other much of a brief about what we were going to do for each other, so this is just what I wanted to make for Pam, and I hope she likes it. I really enjoyed it and I loved making it. The theme of mine that I've done is Queen Victoria, and the kits that I've used is mainly the Queen Victoria kit from Artie Mays, that's Andrea Allen, but I've also used images from Mrs. Cogg's Queen Victoria kit that she has, where lots of images of Queen Victoria, and I've also used some images from books that I've got of Queen Victoria. So here we go. It's a soft cover. It's tied with a piece of tartan ribbon. It's got bobble trim on it, and I've just threaded the tartan ribbon through the bobble trim. It's a single signature, so hopefully you can see that. And this is an image that's from one of the books that I've got, and I've just done that as a journal card on the front. I didn't want to attach it to the cover. I wanted to leave that plain, but Pam could attach it if she wanted to. So that's the start of it. And I hope you can see all right. On the inside, I've put pockets front and back. And this is one of Andrea's, I stitched that in, didn't I? This is one of Andrea's set of tags. She does tags that are in kind of a set of 3, and I've cut these off, or 4, it's either 3 or 4 in a row. So I've used 2 of them that are joined together, and I've just added some extra papers that I had left over. And I've also used some of Andrea's, they're either the William Morris or the Autumn kits, because Autumn tear collage sheets. I think this is the William Morris one, because they just went really nicely. We've got Queen Victoria here. This is the William Morris, I think, at the background. So we've got Queen Victoria here, and this is one of Artie Mays's pictures, and it just says Queen Victoria there at the bottom. And there's an image there of Queen Victoria, just with some extra journaling paper on. That just ticks. It fits just behind the back. I've also got a digital of some tartan papers as well that I've used. Then on the inside, when we turn it over, I was going to put a paper clip on here, but then it shows on there, so I didn't. So it does kind of flap when you open it. This was the fly cover of the Queen Victoria book that I've got. And it shows Queen Victoria there as an older lady, surrounded by her children and grandchildren, and the future king just there. Put a pocket on there. Again, that's one of Mrs. Cogg's images. And then tucked in behind that, I've just done like a kind of waterfall with Alexandrina Victoria on the front, and then just some of Andrea's papers that I've had left over. And it's just, you know, kind of extra journaling space there. But I thought that looked quite pretty as well, so that just goes in there. Again, this is the kit from Andrea Artie Mays, and I'm just going to put that little lady peeking out. So there's Queen Victoria and Albert. And then here I've made a belly band with a book page, one of the images from the book page that I've got, and that's from the book as well. And that's the Prince George, Duke of York, and Princess May of Teck on their wedding ceremony. So I've included all sorts of images from the Queen Victoria book that I had. This is from Queen Victoria's sketchbook, and I've done it as a flip because I didn't want to cut these off. So these are all drawings by Queen Victoria. And then there's an image from the book that I've got. It just fits in there. And then this is one of the images from Mrs. Cogg. And I've got quotes as well. Nothing will turn a man's home into a castle more quickly and effectively than a dachshund. So I'll just put some quotes, Queen Victoria quotes on. Again, this is from Andrea's Queen Victoria kit. It's a lovely kit. I've used it a few times. Again, from the kit. This is from an old Strand magazine that I've got, and this is one of the palaces. It's one of the Queen's daughters or sons that lived in one of the palaces, and that's the corridor with all the wedding presents in. I just thought it's nice to include. It's old paper. It's from the late 1800s, that one. One of the castles, I think that's Windsor Castle. And there we've got an image of Queen Victoria and Albert and a couple of the children. And I didn't cut it off because I didn't want to cut that little girl's face off, so I've just folded it and put some extra journaling space there. So that kind of just folds around to the back. Then here I've done it on some tracing paper of Victoria and Albert, and then there's a quote there that Victoria wrote, so I've included that. And there again, she's proposing, so that's a lithograph showing Victoria's proposal to Albert in 1839. That's a little pocket there. And then that's an image of Dash, her dog. That's her own dog, and that was a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. And I left the quote on it there, or the explanation of what it was. That's the Duke and Duchess of York, and they're the ones that were getting married earlier. And again, that's from the Strand magazine. There's a pocket just there. And again, these are Andrea's papers. That's actually from Crafty Cat, Amy at Crafty Cat. That's from her Regal kit, and it just reminds me of what John Brown, not a gardener, what is he? Looks after the land and everything up in Scotland at Balmoral, and that was somebody that she relied on a lot. So it isn't him, but it reminds me of what he would look like. So that's just an old ledger paper. God Save the Queen, diamond 1837 Diamond Jubilee. And then this is a flip, so there's a little tag in there. Again, that's from Mrs. Cogg. It's in there. Beware of artists, they mix with all classes of society and are therefore most dangerous. And this is the White Lodge. So again, this is where the couple that got married, George and Victoria, that's where they lived, and they were the previous pictures as well. So that's where they lived. Taken by special permission for the Strand magazine. So that's the inside of it. So that's what the other page was as well. Again, we women are not made for governing, and if we are a good woman, we must dislike masculine occupations. A belly band there. That's from Andrea's kit as well. And then that just folds out, and it's a picture there. I don't know if it says on the back. No. But I think that's of St Paul's Cathedral. Oh, sorry, I'm too high, aren't I? Beg pardon. So that's a picture of St Paul's Cathedral, and it just tucks in there and fits. I'm having to sit down because I've got a very bad back at the moment. I do suffer with a bad back. So if I'm going out of screen, I do apologise, but I can't quite see. And I've had an awful cold. I've not been very well. Hey ho. Some days, some weeks are like that, aren't they? So there's a music book page there. One of the cards that comes with Andrea's kit. And again, I've extended it. I don't actually know if Pam likes to journal, but there's plenty of room in this if she wants to, or she can add, bits and pieces herself. A couple of pictures there from Mrs. Cogg, and it says the greatest maxim of all is that children should be brought up as simply in as domestic a way as possible, and that not interfering with their lessons, they should be as much possible with their parents and learn to place the greatest confidence in them in all things. So that's just some of the things that she said. And then again, Andrea's paper. That's an envelope in there. So I've put one of the cards that came with the kit in there. And that's also in the kit. So just a little extra space on there. And then on the back, I've just put an image there of Victoria and Albert. These background papers, I think, are from Tailor-Made Journals, avocado and coffee papers, but they kind of just went with the theme of the journal. a picture of Victoria when she's old, again from the kit. And that's from the kit as well. And this is one of the background of that is from Amy at Crafty Cat as well, again from her Regal kit, but the image there is from Artie Mays, again from one of the books that I've got. So that's at Osborne House, the Durbar room at Osborne House. It's when she was made Empress of India, I think. And it says, "Bring me a cup of tea and a copy of the Times." And again, there's just an image there of Victoria behind a posh teacup. Another piece of that Strand magazine. And again, that's Amy's paper from Regal. Another of Mrs. Cogg's images there. And then again, beware of artists. They mix with all classes of society and therefore most dangerous. But I put that on there because I quite liked that you can see the paper underneath it, through it. Again, I think that's one of Mrs. Cogg's. Looks very romantic there, doesn't it? She's shutting the door, look, you won't let her out. She wants to leave, but she really wants to stay. Again, that's one of Mrs. Cogg's images there. And then another page from the sketchbook, her sketchbook. 1859, she was drawing that. This is one of the tags, same as at the front, and I've just used it as a tuck spot there. And again, I love peace and quiet. I hate politics and turmoil. I can't think it was an easy job that she had, being a woman in a man's world back in the Victorian times, but a privileged life she had, I guess. Again, from the kit. And then 3 of the tags that come with the kit as well. I'll just go in there. And that would be an image, artist impression of John Brown as well, I think. And then there's a tag in the back of here. It just fits nicely into there. Again, that's a picture of Albert that she's sketched. And again, a page from the sketchbook. Queen Victoria copied onto tracing paper. And then it's a page behind that is from the book. So you can sort of read it. Again, that's Amy's paper. And then on the last page, again, I copied onto tracing paper. I think by accident, it was an accident that I copied some of the images onto tracing paper. So I've folded the pages over that and made it like a tracing paper window so that you can see the tag behind it. And then that just opens up, and that's some of the children. And then again, some of her sketches there. So I just thought that was nice to put in there. And then behind that, again from the sketchbook, Lady Victoria Conry. And I think that was one of her ladies in waiting. And that opens up the writing paper. And there's another sketch there of Sister Victoria. It does go in there. Oh, do you know, I just had an awful feeling that my camera wasn't working. I've been having such awful technical issues, you know. And then in the back, I've used one of the envelopes that comes with the kit and used one of those letter cards as well. So she had 9 children. When Albert died, she wore black for the rest of her life. So, yeah. So that is the journal that I've made for my journal swap with Pam. I'm hoping that she'll like it. I think that she will. But I just wanted to share it with you. And I will also do a video to show the journal that Pam sends to me. And I will link Pam's YouTube below as well. So take care, everybody. I hope you like the journal. Take care, and I'll be back soon. Bye-bye.